I'm so excited that you've taken time out to tune in to the Ella Johnson Show. I hope that you enjoy the broadcast. I hope you'll laugh. I hope you'll cry. But I hope that you'll be moved by what you hear. Well, my guests are very special to me, and so are you. So I want you to sit back, enjoy the show. What you can become depends on what you can overcome. Yes, I'm so excited about my children's book that's coming out, and I'm looking for some mahogany kids. I'll tell you about that later. And now it's time for the Ella Johnson Show. Hello, everyone out there. It is so nice to see all of you tonight. It's time for the Ella Johnson Show. Now, all week we've been talking about this broadcast. I want you guys to say hello to all of my guests. Aren't they all beautiful? Well, you guys are going to get a chance to meet them, but I want to talk about a few things first. I want to say thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys really made me feel so special for my birthday. I mean, I'm still getting birthday wishes and songs and videos. So you guys made a girl feel so special. You know, I just appreciate you all so much, every single one of you. And I want you to know, I read every single text. I read every single post, everything that was sent to me, because I don't take it for granted, right? So I want to say thank you guys all so much for that. Today is my grandson's birthday. Everybody say happy birthday, Isaiah.
Happy birthday, Isaiah.
Happy birthday, yes. Isaiah. I know you guys didn't know I had grandkids. Well, let me just tell you, I have 6 of them, as I was talking to PJ. Listen, guys, we're going to have so much fun tonight. I need you guys to do me a favor, though. I need you, if you're watching from Facebook, you might not be able to share it, okay? So if you can't share it, type the name there of someone that you know needs to watch this show. You know, like her marriage is on the brink of divorce, or she's thinking about marrying someone, or, you know, whatever the case may be. Because, listen, we are getting into relationships, and we don't have a solid foundation. Listen, let me tell you guys, I want you guys to think about something. When you go to the altar, whatever baggage you have in your life, you're taking it to the altar with you, okay? So it's time to unpack some of that stuff, all right? Men with these macho attitudes, women with these stank attitudes. We're going to do all of that tonight on the Ella Johnson Show. But I want you guys to go ahead and share and let somebody know to tune in. We're going to give you guys a chance to come, but we're going to let you watch this video. And when we come back, you're going to meet my beautiful guests. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Yes. All right.
Yes.
Guys, we are going to have an awesome night tonight. Looks like we just have our ladies here, but we can handle it. Women are always having to handle it, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we're going to do that. We're going to bring a great show. We're going to have some good information. But I want those of you, if you just tuned in and you have no idea why I have all these beautiful women here, well, we're going to talk about love and relationships, the things that make them lose interest. Now, I know we think we have it going on and that we could do no wrong. But in all essence, wouldn't we say that we all need a little help when it comes to relationships? I mean, why are people getting divorced? It takes two. Okay, it's not just the man, it's not just the woman. So tonight we're going to talk about some real stuff. I mean, it is called Real Talk TV here on the Ella Johnson Show, where we could be on TV and talk real. So let you guys meet my guests. We first have Sabrina Pruitt. Isn't she beautiful? I complimented her with the natural. Listen, I love people that can rock it. And she looks beautiful. Well, Sabrina is out of North Carolina, and she's a prominent businesswoman, and she is the mastermind behind Petty Mean Syndrome. Welcome to the Ella Johnson Show, Sabrina.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, do we miss Ella?
Yeah, is it frozen?
Yeah, like her thing froze up.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Miss Sabrina.
Because you know we can't have any complications with that, baby. We need to let everybody know. You're gonna get another introduction because she's too awesome, not for you guys to miss anything. Sabrina Pruitt, she's out of North Carolina. She is a prominent businesswoman and the mastermind behind Petty Mean Syndrome. Welcome to the Ella Johnson Show, Sabrina.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
We're so glad that you were able to take time out of your busy schedule to be here with us. Then we have Bina Marie. This is my girl. She is right here in Old Town, the city beautiful. Yes. Listen, I have to compliment her because she brought the scene for us tonight with the flowers. Like, I want to go there. Yes. Right? Yes. We have to have a party in one of those. They got to make one big enough for all of us, though, Yes. But she is out of Orlando, and she has been my friend. She's an awesome, beautiful, beautiful. She's engaged to Benjamin Knowles. So guess what? She knows a thing or two about how to get a ring on it. She's going to teach us all something. Well, at least me. I'm going to talk for myself. I don't have a ring on it. She's going to tell me how to get it. But she is an entrepreneur, and she is an intuitive life advancement teacher. Did I get it right, Bina?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, baby. No, we can't miss anything because when my queens come on the scene, we have to make it right. But it looks like Wendell is there, guys. He's getting set up. I thought we were ladies were going to have to handle things tonight. But looks like my boy came through. Wendell, let's go ahead and bring him on. Well.
Hello.
Did you join the party? I love it. Good. Well, listen, PJ Dakota, guys. She is out of Flint, Michigan. See, we have people from everywhere, all over the country. She's out of Flint. She is an R&B hip hop artist. Has been for like over 10 years. Guys, get this. She's number 6 on iTunes. Okay, she's number 22 on Billboard. On Billboard, she's number 22. And in her song "Just Skate" and Tonight, in between, like when we do a little intermission, she's going to give us a little bit of one of her relationship songs for us.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Yes. And then we have fashion extraordinaire, Wendell Jean. This is my boy. I am just so proud of you, Wendell. I've been to all fashion shows. He does all these fashion shows that are like high fashion here in Orlando. And, we have to go VIP, baby, every time. I can't see. So I have to be up front. Right? But the wine is good, too. And the wings, I'm just going to say. But I am so proud of you, Wendell, because you have, stuck with your fashion thing, and it's really paying off for you. You are the owner of Styles by Jean Pierre. Welcome to the Ella Johnson Show, my friend.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Ella. Hello, ladies.
Hello. Yes. Now the accent. Go ahead and tell everybody where you're from, where you're repping. Where are you repping? You.
Oh, for me, I thought we moved on.
No,
Okay,
we
we can
can't.
talk
We
about me.
gotta.
All right, well, my name is Wendell Jean-Pierre. I'm here in Orlando, Florida. I'm originally from Fort Pierce, Florida. I came to Orlando by the way of Sarasota, Florida. I came to Orlando to get my degree in psychology. And I got into, well, I was already in entertainment. I was a music producer and a rapper. Did that for several years. Opportunity opened up for me to get into acting. Did one show and that kind of blew up. We were on tour, so on and so forth. Did multiple shows, multiple directors, and then I got into acting. I got into modeling through music. I got booked to do a show, so I performed. Everything went great. And after that, they said, "Hey, we're doing an all-male fashion show. What do you think about, casting?" I said, "Sure, why not? I'll try anything one time." And little did I know it was the beginning of a long career. So I started from the ground up, just really just learning the foundations. And then anything I do, I like to learn front house and back house. And so
That's
I
right.
learned the business side of things. And so now I am a model coordinator. So I coordinate fashion shows. I'm also a model trainer. I teach modeling and yada, yada, yada. So I tell people I don't do fashion shows. I do productions because I come from a
Yes.
music background and I come from an acting background. I don't just do clothes. I do production. So I give people an experience. And that's pretty much it. I also
Well,
work.
listen, he is absolutely correct about that. If you have never been to one of his fashion shows, it is not just women and men and kids walking up and down the runway. No, it is a production, like he says.
Oh,
It's you
production.
leave and you're just, it really is, right, Bina? I love it.
Yes,
And I just
yes.
love you.
I'm
So we're gonna
glad
have
to be here tonight.
we're
We
gonna
have
have
to
a good
meet you
conversation.
too.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good conversation, guys. Now, let me just put it out there. I have to put my disclaimer. If you're watching the broadcast, we are going to talk real. We're going to be candid. We're talking about love and relationships. We're gonna keep you guys from going down to divorce court. That's what we're gonna do. You know what? Because it's not just the sinners running down there. We got a lot of Christians that are signing up for divorces too.
Absolutely.
So we need to talk about it, right? So what we're going to do tonight, guys, we're going to kind of break it up. Now, somebody has a little feedback. Do you guys hear it? There's a little noise, and it is just driving
I
me
do
crazy.
hear that.
Do you hear it?
Yeah,
I'm not sure exactly where it's coming from. Let me see. You know what? I'm going to try something here. Oh, no. Okay, look. Felicia, are you with us? Okay, looks like she's still not there. But Felicia's our other guest, guys, but she's kind of en route and she's got so many things to do that she was kind of trying to join the show while driving. But we want her to be safe, but we definitely hope she's able to come in when she's safe and can come in. But yeah, I do hear that.
I think that might be me. I'm on.
Oh,
Oh, we lost
okay, we lost him. We lost him.
I think it was him.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully we get it together.
We figured it out.
Yeah, right? I knew it was him because I muted, and when I muted, I didn't hear it. But hopefully he'll come back because I really want his perspective. But what we're going to do, ladies, we're going to break this thing down. We're going to start talking about self-esteem because I really believe that before we get in any type of relationship, we need to know who we are and we need to be sure and confident. Now, Bina, let me ask you a question. Do you think that self-esteem, actually, I want to ask all of you this. How important do you think self-esteem is in a relationship? Oh, you know what? Before I do that, I want to ask every single one of you because we're going to ask the same question at the end. What is the single most important thing in a relationship? You first, PJ. Single most important thing, communication. Yep. Sabrina, one word.
Trust.
Bina, one word.
Loyalty.
Okay. Now, at the end of the show, after we share all of our ideas, we're going to see if you guys still think that that's the number one thing. So remember, all right? Now, let me go back to that. What do you think is the how important is self-esteem in a relationship, Sabrina? What do you think?
I think it's huge. I think it's very important because if you don't have self-esteem, you don't believe in yourself, so you might not believe that the relationship will work, and it creates codependency.
Wow, very good answer. What about you, Bina? Why is it so important?
I'd like to say this first. I think the most important relationship is the relationship with yourself. if you have a good and learn how to have a good relationship with self, all of your relationships outside of yourself will be on a high vibration. So I absolutely think self-esteem plays a big role in who you are as a whole. So it's very important that you feel confident and have and love yourself. That's very important because that's where everything starts. You can't do anything outside of yourself before you do it with yourself and in within yourself.
Very good answer. PJ, what do
Yeah,
you think about that?
I totally agree, and I think that was she was on the same line as what I was saying. Is about knowing who you are. How can you tell somebody what you want or need if you don't even know who you are to ask for something? So I think you got to know who you are first to be able to say, "Hey, I need to be treated like a queen, and this is what I need." And you ain't got that, then kick rocks. So yeah, I think
And
it's
I
very
think that seems to be that's part of where the problems start because we go into relationships with low self-esteem. Now, Wendell, the question that I just asked everybody, and you get a chance. Are you with us, Felicia? I want to make sure. Okay, so I'm not.
I'm here.
Are you? Okay, you're here. All right, good guys. Listen, Felicia Rivers is out of Charleston, South Carolina. She is a screenwriter, film director, magazine publisher, Geechee One. I love how she has Miss Geechee One on her display there, but Geechee One is her brand. And welcome to the Ella Johnson Show, Felicia.
Thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful. She's so busy. She's kind of traveling, guys. Now, let me ask both of you because everyone else has answered this question. Why is self-esteem in a relationship so important, Wendell?
I'm gonna let Felicia go first as a gentleman. I believe ladies
Oh,
first.
look at you. You know, you didn't know what to say. You were just letting her go first.
Oh, I know what to say.
I heard that. Yes, Felicia. What do you think, dear?
Well, you have to love yourself in order to love somebody else. Because this whole question can go so all over the place. Because I would bring up domestic violence. I would bring up the statistics in that, but I don't know. I don't know if you want to go there right now. But a lot of the females, I would say down south, like where I'm at, because this is one of the, I want to say the number 3 for criminal domestic violence, and I feel that a lot of females, such as myself, I am a criminal. We call it domestic violence survivor as well. So we do have, not saying low self-esteem, but you put others before yourself.
Okay.
You sacrifice a lot.
Yeah, I think women tend to think that that's our job. I think we tend to think that's our job, is that we have to sacrifice everything or it won't work. All right, Wendell, we want to hear a man's perspective on this. Why do you think self-esteem is so important?
I mean, I think the word itself speaks for itself. The word self-esteem has to do with the individual you. So if you your one are not confident in who you are, don't know who you are, then what happens is you begin to take your all and put it into another person. That person becomes your self-esteem or your identity. And so when you're able to know because self-esteem plays in so many aspects, such as confidence, self-awareness. So when you have enough self-esteem, you tend to be a certain way. You tend to carry yourself a certain way. When you have low self-esteem, you tend to settle for anything or you don't believe in yourself. It plays also into a person's drive and how you approach a situation. It stands out even when you enter the room. You know, your self-esteem, you can walk in with so much confidence, like you got the job, or you're going to get this man or this woman. But if you don't have that self-esteem, and then, you tend to settle for anything that comes your way because you don't believe you can do any better.
Wow. I tend to think that when we don't have self-esteem, a lot of other nasty things come into the relationship, like jealousy, always complaining about everything. Can jealousy ruin a relationship, guys?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Have you guys had somebody that was jealous and acting crazy and just, it was so annoying you just had to end it?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
We've all had that experience, I'm sure. Those are their insecurities, and I learned very quickly in life to not allow anybody to put their insecurities off on me. That's not my responsibility.
So I gotta play devil advocate because it can be twofold. Because a person can be jealous and have low self esteem, but you as their counterpart, you can play into that also by doing things to make them think or allowing them to think that something else is going on. So you have to be careful when you're in a relationship. There's a certain way that you have to carry yourself. And I can speak for me, for my own self, me being in the entertainment industry, it's extremely difficult for me. It takes a very confident woman to be with somebody like me because I am surrounded by beautiful, attractive women.
Yeah.
However, in that vein, I'm not focused on beautiful, attractive women. I'm focused on business and making sure the production of the show is what's successful. I don't care who's doing what because I'm looking at a bigger picture. But I
Right.
also have to realize that when I'm conversating, if I'm conversating with somebody and I'm out somewhere and I'm in a relationship, to include that person so they feel like they're a part. And so jealousy can ruin a relationship, but there are steps that we can take to also mitigate and make that person feel confident. Now, it's a very thin line because it's not necessarily our responsibility to make sure they feel confident, but it is our responsibility to make sure they feel included.
Oh, I like that. I like
I
that.
like
What do you
that.
think about that,
That is
Sabrina?
true.
Well, from my experience, I thought what I was doing was normal. You introduce a person. I'm not the clingy type, so when someone is like following behind me and checking to make sure who I'm talking to, and they're clearly there, but they still feel some type of way. There's only so much you can do uh, besides closing yourself into a room, and I didn't want to be that person. I'm outgoing, so again, like Wendell was saying, there's a certain type of confidence you need to have to be with people that are out in the public. And I just had to say, hey, I mean, we just don't fit.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think that men, and I'm glad we have a man on the panel here tonight, but do you think that
Yeah.
sometimes men can be intimidated by a strong woman?
Yes.
What do you
Not
think about
all.
that, PJ?
Not all men, but yes, and I've been told that. Hey, I always had a briefcase and I always had a suit on. And, I was always business looking at the time at the job that I had, and the guy just flat out told me, "Hey, man, you intimidate me." And I'm like, "Why?" You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Wow.
"Dude, you
He
asked me
admitted
to
it?
show
There's
up."
low self-esteem.
Yeah, you asked me to show up for after work for dinner, and here I am, and you like, and I'm like, I don't get it. So no, I think they, I think they can.
What do you think about that, Wendell? Being a guy, to hear that a guy actually told her that he was intimidated by her.
I mean, I'm not surprised. It takes a confident man and a man with a lot of self esteem to not be intimidated. We live in the 21st century, so growing up in my days, the man had to make more money. That was how he showed that he was a man. Me personally, even though I grew up in that era, if my wife makes more money than me, whenever I find her, it's all
Plug. Yes, he
Claim
is
it.
single. He is single,
Hey,
ladies. I don't
hey,
see.
what I'm
How
saying?
is it that you're still single? That you're single? How is it?
I work a
Picky? Are
lot.
you picky?
I'm extremely picky. I work a lot. A lot of women can't handle my lifestyle. I'm not. I'm producing shows. That
Yeah.
takes time. It takes 3 months to effectively plan a fashion show. I'm on my third show this year, so it takes a lot. Also, I've had a lot of. I've been hurt as a man, by women, and so I've
Oh,
had to take some time and
Oh,
heal. It
he
happens, and
admitted
I.
that.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. You gotta be able to look yourself in the mirror, and I've had to take a long look at myself in the mirror, and I've been hurt several times, but I've also had to face those demons, and I had to learn how to love again and trust again, and realize that maybe that person just wasn't for me at the time, and so that takes a big it takes time to heal. So I've had to take a lot of time to heal, but
If I can intervene right quick, I would
Yeah.
absolutely say that we are meant to have karmic relationships. That's what I like to call them. They are there to show us more about ourselves so we can learn more about ourselves. Now, how long you choose to stay in that karmic relationship determines on how fast it takes you to get that lesson.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
But
I think I go ahead.
no, I was saying, well, based off what you had said though, knowing that you got the long hours, and I totally understand that, and you know that it's affecting your relationship. How are you adjusting that? Because at this point, I mean, we can say she's she don't have self-esteem or whatever, but it's also you, just like you said. How do you counteract that?
And how do you include her into your world?
Right.
I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is I don't mind including people in my world, but I have to know that I can trust you to include you in my world. I'm known by a lot of people, and I'm surrounded by a lot of people constantly. And I don't want to be that person that there's always somebody new in the picture. So I always try to take the time to vet somebody. And then I also got to look at, is this person going to be able to go long term with me? Are they going to be able to go the long run? A lot of times, people rush into relationship. After my few times of being hurt, I decided to kind of take my time. You know what I'm saying? And like, there's no rush. The next person I'm with, I want to marry. I've been saying that for the last, I don't know, 10 years. And so, so it's been a journey. And for me personally, I'm a millionaire in the making. So with that comes a lot more sacrifice. I'm very influential, and even I didn't even think I was an influential person. But when I speak, people listen. So I have to be able to delegate, but also go through the process of being able to learn. So when I am speaking to people, I'm speaking good seeds, and not just speaking stuff, saying fluff, so to speak. So I have to listen to my mentors. I have to read. I have to study. But it all boils down to, going back to your question, it all boils down to balance, being able to balance everything. And so that's what I'm learning now. I think I've spent a lot of years kind of building to where I am now, sacrificing and being able to take losses and setbacks so that I can be the man. The biggest thing I've had to learn in this journey is understanding my mate's love language. How does she interpret? And so for me, my love language is words.
You were breaking up.
Yeah.
I
think you said words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Being able to, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I can hear y'all, so I'm gonna continue on. But words of affirmation, being able to pour into that person gifts, and I have to learn that might work for me, but if that doesn't work for the other person, it is not beneficial. And so, some people, quality time is the way they do it. And so, if I don't have time scheduled for them, then that's the relationship is not going to work. So, but we understand how they perceive love and how they receive love.
Nice. Now, I want you to chime in, Felicia, because I don't want you to be there, because we definitely want to hear what you have to say. Are you there? Can you hear us and chime in on this?
Yes. Everything he's saying, I do agree with. You have to really get to know the person, and being a mother, a single mother, and I work a lot too. So I do work a lot. A lot of stuff that I do is you really can't. It feels like you really can't even be in a relationship because it's the same craziness with me. They be like, "Oh, you care about it, sketchy man. All you're doing is writing and emotion and traveling and So I agree with that because it's like, I don't know, and the jealous. I don't know if it's jealousy, but I get it when you're with somebody and people like, "Hey, I know you," and then they wait to see how you address them or how you, hey, this is, and then they're not. I don't know. It's a long story. But everything he's saying, I agree with. That's, I work a full-time job, and I do 40 other jobs, and then I help 40 other people, and it's it always seems like it's the same thing with the the guys that I try to talk to. They be like, when's the time for me? And then when you have time for them, it's they have their issues because they're people too. We're all people. So I just know, like, in the future, if I were to be in a relationship, I want somebody that will understand and somebody who listens, not take orders, but listen. Like, it's supposed to be 50-50, but the way that we train our kids now, which I get it, you have to be 100% because you're so, you give people 50, I'm not everybody because I know there's a guy in here, but some people, they take it. They take your 50, they take your 75% and they leave you with nothing. So I'm just the type of person that if you leave me, I'm talking friendship too, friendship too. If you leave me, I'm not gonna hurt. I'm not giving you enough so you can hurt me.
Again,
right.
Yeah.
Now, PJ and Bina, how do you guys, and Sabrina, how do you guys handle, what you do? Because all of you ladies are very busy. How do you work that out with your spouse or your significant other? How do you do that?
For me, being an intuitive life advancement teacher, I do that as my hobby and contribution to the world. But I am also a first responder, and I work.
Thank you for your service, sweetie. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And so, and those days can be very long because I work with the prison system. So, and I transport. So, those days can be very long. But I thank God because my fiance is in the same. He works for the same department, so he kind of is very in tune with what we do. So he understands. So he picks up my slack when I'm slacking, or if I have to work late into the night. He's making sure the kids have everything they need and they're fed, and we're just working as a team. That's. But I would say this, because when the right person comes into your life, I don't care how busy you are, you will make time for that person.
That's right.
You're gonna make time for whatever it is you want to make time for. And if the right person comes into your life, he won't even have to question your time, because you will make some time for that person or her, him or her.
That's true.
Now, I want to switch gears a little bit, guys. I want to get more into this. Okay, we're dating. We're out here now. It's the 21st century. Things have changed from even when I was growing up as a teenager. I mean, things are so different. You have internet dating. You have scam artists out there. Like, I actually met this guy who was pretending to be this actor in Africa. And I had no idea how many people were doing that. There were like 100 people on Facebook. And when the guy was like, oh, yeah, I'm an actor in Africa. And I was like, really? Well, how are you an actor in Africa and I have more friends than you do? Like, come on, man. Right? So you have to watch out for the scams, because not everybody's real out here. Everybody's playing. Some people are not trying to get in relationships. Some people are looking for a woman to be their mother, not their woman.
Oh my God.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Or they're taking
chime in on that, PJ?
in Africa.
PJ was like, amen, lights. What do you mean, girl? Talk to me.
It's just, but the whole, like you say, the whole motherly thing. I don't know. It's like on that whole thing from the question you had asked before, and it was the whole, how do you make it all work? And then it'd be like, especially if y'all not in the same, like for her, it was y'all in the same field. But a lot of times my guys, we're not in the same field. They got the regular job or whatever. But see, when they come home, they go straight to Xbox or PlayStation 2000 or whatever. And then they sitting there for hours doing that. And then it's like, what?
How old are these guys that you're dating?
That's my question right there, Miss Ella. Well, how old are these guys?
They grown. That's my point. They grown men, and I'm looking like, what are you doing? What are you? Okay, never mind. I'm going to the studio. So I don't know. And then that whole,
that's not the one.
That's a turn off. That's
what I'm saying. That's what you find in the process. You like, you think because they give you the best when they're dating. You know what I'm saying? And then once you start,
so let me answer that.
You start seeing their habits, and you go, whoa, you're never going.
All right. All right, Wendell, what you got? What?
Okay,
Talk
so
to us.
let me give y'all some insight. It's very simple. It's very simple. I don't play games anymore. I did when I was younger. That's just my preference not to. However, what that is that man is coming home to decompress. That's his way of decompress. So now, typically ladies come home, they'll get them a glass of wine, kick off their shoes, take off all their clothes, get in some comfortable clothes, and that's y'all way of decompressing. Now, everything goes back to, like I said, balance. There's nothing wrong with playing video games. Okay,
for an hour.
It's when you It's right for an hour. It's when you're on there 4 days straight. That's when it's a problem, you know. So it goes back to balance because after you decompress, then you need to. I mean, you know, every man is different. So you know, I would prefer watching a movie. Me, I'm a movie person. Let's watch some movies. Let's eat some food,
I
and
do. I get
we
fussed out
good.
about decompressing for my hour, but everyone in my house knows that mommy's gonna take a whole hour right after
See,
work
yep,
to
yep,
decompress, and then I'll
right.
see you guys in a minute. So
That's
my
it.
my boy's been programmed. My hubby he fusses just barely, but
See,
he
but you need that hour though. You need that time so that you can
yes,
get yourself.
it's an hour faithfully every day after work.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I'm gonna ask you guys a
So
question though. Does
uh huh.
that affect the intimacy when you come home and you're like ready to be intimate, and he's sitting over here playing a video game and showing all kinds of attention to it, and then when you want the attention, now all of a sudden, man, come on, man, baby, I'm tired. You know, I'm tired. You know what?
Yeah,
But
I don't know
that's
What
nothing
do
about
I
that
need to
right
dress
gotta
up like Super
communicate.
Mario or something?
Yeah, that don't even make sense to me. I mean, most men they gonna be intimate. You know, most men they'll be intimate first, then play the games. But yeah, I mean,
Right.
at the end of the day, you know, it's life.
It's
So
life.
sometimes, yes, he needs to decompress. But if you need that attention that time, you know, dress up for your husband. Do something. You know what I'm saying? Men are visual creatures. You walk around a certain way, he gonna look at and hey, I'm be back. You
Bet.
ain't even gotta say nothing.
So
You know what
we
time it
have to
is.
dress up to get their attention away from the
Dress
video
up
game.
or don't dress at all. I mean, whatever floats your boat. I mean, different strokes for different folks. You know, I mean, you know, that's up to you and your boo. But you know, I mean, sometimes it just depends on a person's day. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, everybody has a job, you know what I'm saying, where sometimes it can be stressful. It could be their boss, their coworker. And because we spend so much time at work and because work plays a big part of our financial security, a lot of times we kind of have to be on that job. Now, I'm a firm believer in if you're not happy, change it. You know what I'm
Change it.
saying? But
I'm a firm
sometimes it's
believer
easier
in that.
said than done
It's
because you
true.
can go to a job and you be happy at the job, but you ain't making no money. That could be
True.
another
Well, if I'm
problem.
not making any
So,
money, I'm not happy at the job. I mean,
okay, well, see,
I'm faking
but
at the job is what I'm doing.
Make it till you make it.
so,
What?
That's what they
so,
say, PJ.
so, I mean, I'm just giving different,
Yeah.
suggestions. You know
But
what
I need
I'm
to
saying?
ask you
That's
though, Wendell, because
yes, ma'am.
you said when men are not. So if a woman has roll, I know women don't wear rollers in their hair anymore. I mean, this is a old. I know we're not in the 50s, but you're saying that if a woman is in a house coat, it's that time of the month. She's feeling a little bloated. She's not feeling sexy. She's not trying to put on a nightie. So what you telling me that men are not attracted to her when she looks like that?
Well, at that moment, she don't want to be attractive. In that moment, do she? She wants some chocolate. She wants some her favorite food. She want her back and her foot rubbed and leave her alone and don't make her mad. That's what she wants. So I mean, it depends on the scenario. Based on the first scenario, which was she wanted attention, which is why I made the comment. But based on this scenario, you still can give her attention. It's just the attention that she wants is different attention. You know, at the end of the day, us as men have to understand our women. You know, it needs to be
Right.
to the point where we know when her cycle is on. You know, we know when her friend is visiting her. You know, and we should be prepared. You know, so when I say that, all right, you know, this is you gotta do it. This is this. So don't take it personally. Have her snacks ready. Have her foot. You know what I'm saying? Have stuff set up. You know what I'm saying? Send her flowers before. You know what I'm saying? Because it
This
helps
is something you can
lighten.
play all night.
Yeah, it lightens the blow because she's gonna go through it. So, but you got
Right.
to go through it with her.
I like that. That's a very good way of doing that. What
I
did you
can
want to add,
caveat.
Sabrina?
I can caveat off Wendell. I never had that problem where somebody was
Hmm.
sitting on the game for hours
Yeah.
and not paying me attention. So just like Wendell said, it's the approach. So
Right.
you don't have to speak. Your actions show what you want. So
Hmm.
if you want him, don't get in front of the TV because it might have the video on, but you show him, hey,
This is
and then when
the peripherals. The
he see
peripherals.
you and be like, hey, I gotta go. Or next
Yeah.
thing you know, the game is gone, and then they be like, hey man, I didn't know where you was. Hey, I was busy,
Yeah.
or and then if you're in a night, like the nightgown and the bonnet, and you come in and you look at him, he knows, hey man, look, I gotta go. And he knows, give you your ice cream and rub your feet, or let's sit down and watch a movie. So I agree with what he's saying, and
So you know what to do now, PJ, right?
Oh, yeah.
Don't go to the studio. Go back in the bedroom and change, flip the switch. Yeah, you know what to do now.
Right,
that's
right.
if he's into you. Yeah, if he's into you, he knows.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I'm just talking about window.
Wow, I like that. Well, you know what, guys? Let's talk a little bit about. Let's talk about dating a little bit more, because there are double standards, Bina and Sabrina. And Felicia, you can jump in anytime you want, dear. And PJ and Wendell, they're double standards. A woman single dating multiple partners. A man dating single multiple partners. Are they looked at the same?
Well, personally, I don't care how you look at me.
I believe that.
Because just because I'm dating someone don't mean I'm sexing someone. And even if I was, that's none of your business also.
Right.
Correct.
So, I guess if you care about what people think of you, that might be an issue. But when you're at that level in your life where you honestly just do not care.
I do not care. I'm the same. I don't.
Anyone's opinion.
Right.
That's a non-factor.
But honestly, Felicia, let's address it though. Are we looked at the same? If a woman wants to choose to be with more than one partner because she's dating, she's not exclusive with anyone, how is she looked upon versus Wendell if he wanted to do that?
Well, I mean, in the society today, if she's out there, I guess, having adult relations, then they would consider her to be loose. But if she's just dating and not having adult relations, then it wouldn't be considered loose, because she's just out having fun, like if it was with a girlfriend or someone, but you could, what I'm trying to say. So if it's somebody, if she's, so it really would be up to her, really, how she feels about herself and what she's doing. But, same thing for guys. If a guy's out there sleeping with a billion women, I mean, I guess to maybe another male, maybe he might be the man or something. But in our today's society, with everything going on besides COVID, dealing with multiple people like that is bringing about germs and things that we might not want. So it just goes back to the particular person, because some people you could go out on dates, like regular dates, have fun, live your life, and nothing be with it. But if you're a person that's maybe out there having adult relations with everybody, no matter what sex, then that could be considered kind of loose. And depending on the person, and that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. But society looks down on that, because again, if you, I don't know, dating is to get to know somebody. So you're getting to know people, but if you're getting to know 100 people at the same time, how are you putting all that energy into 100 of them at the same time?
I don't know.
I think maybe she just wants to have sex. Some people decide, listen, I'm just going to have sex. I'm not trying to get close with anyone. I mean, I've had friends of mine say, Ella, listen, I'm just going to enjoy life. Yeah, I think it's Russian roulette, actually. But
if you're practicing safe sex, that's always a good thing too. I would hope that if they're having multiple sex partners, that they are practicing
protecting. Yes.
But if you're having sex with 5 people, I guess all 5 of them must not be satisfying you, that you have to go out and find 5 more people.
That's a good point.
That is a good point of why are you sexing this much? We might,
because it could be something wrong with you.
Yeah,
that you feel you're looking for something you're not getting.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So he got away with that one. He's gone. We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him to get that one, because I don't think there should be double standards, even though there are. I think
it's more accepted though now, though, Miss Ella. I think it's not how it used to be, because nowadays even, I don't even think, oh, what's your body count? I don't even think that's a factor anymore. I think most men are like, don't even care about your body count, but that's only if you're even being honest about your body count. You know, like, I don't think that's even a factor anymore. It's more, it's 2021, so everyone is just
free
from
doing
right,
whatever.
just more accepting of, hey, you got to pass, as long as you're still clean and that don't have nothing to do with me, I'm still gonna deal with you because I like you.
All right, Wendell, talk to me.
All right, so let's look at things
that?
let's look at things for how they are. All right.
All right.
Women have always been considered to be diamonds, so to speak, and men have been considered to be cubic zirconium.
Diamonds and dogs.
It
is.
Well, okay, but look, okay, dogs, okay, but not all
just
dogs
because
are
it's
bad.
a D, that's all.
Okay,
diamonds and dogs. It
diamonds
just
and dogs.
good.
Okay, all right. So what it is, and I think Adina and Felicia said it best, is if a woman is dating multiple men and getting to know that man, dating with a purpose, so to speak, that's different from versus dating and sleeping with everyone she's dating, and vice versa. The whole point of dating is to get to know the person. You know, so if you are dating with a purpose, you're dating to get to know this person to see if you work, then that approach is different versus I ain't got nothing better to do. Let me date this person, date this person, date this person. But there's no intent or an intention. This is not a road that's leading to anywhere. It's just I have nowhere to go, so I'm driving. You know, so I think it's important for us as individuals, both male and females, to have a end goal, so to speak. You know,
Right.
I've dated exclusively. And when I date exclusively, my biggest problem with dating exclusively is when you get to know the person, you cut everybody else off because you're focusing on this one person and things don't work out. Now you just like, well, what about maybe something would have worked with the other person, you know? And so, and I've dated multiple people before. For me personally, it didn't really work as far as dating multiple people because of my schedule. It just doesn't really function for me. But it's more so being open to seeing where it's going to lead. I think dating exclusively is more intentional based and more proactive, you know, but I don't knock people who are dating multiple to get to know them as long as they're communicating with the other people they're dating. I think where this is where communication is important. If you're dating 2 or 3 men or women, but you don't let the other people know you're dating other people, that's where it becomes an issue because that person is like, oh, well, I'm invested in you and you're invested in Tom, Dick, and Harry, so to speak, you know. But if you're saying, hey, you know, I've met you, just so you know, I'm dating, get to know people. If you want to, you know, get to know each other, that's fine, you know. And because at the end of the day, when you really like somebody, you'll find yourself not dating or talking to the other people.
Exactly. But let me ask you guys a question. I want everybody to answer this one because this is important. If you were to meet a guy, Sabrina and Dina, well, not you, Dina, because you got your guy. You figured this thing out. Like, write the book already. But the rest of us out here. But well, I don't know. I'm assuming Felicia too. But I don't know what her situation is. But what if you met that other person and you guys are having a conversation, and somewhere in that conversation they say, "Listen, Sabrina, real talk, I'm sleeping with other women. I'm just gonna let you know up front, so you can decide whether you want to be my friend or whatever. But I don't want anybody to approach you with drama when they see us together. But I'm dating and I'm trying to find the right one." If they come at us honest like that, how many ladies, with a show of hands, how many of you would stay?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because you didn't take my choice away, and you would be surprised when you offer and actually let people have a choice that they would just say, you know what, I respect that. And if it's not, until it becomes exclusive and we talk about, hey, well, where are we going with this? Because me personally don't have time for new experiences. Thank you, because now either I'll still be your friend just so I can still get to know you. I won't have sexual relations with you now because you have that already taken care of. So, I mean, I would say just to still get to know that person because they're being honest, and that honesty in a relationship is very, very important. And if you are honest up front and starting the relationship off that way, you'll pretty much continue to be honest, I believe, throughout the relationship.
What do you think about that, PJ?
And I agree. Everything she just said, you'll still be there as a friend. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
No, go ahead.
I think mine. I didn't raise my hand initially because I took it as if I'm with that person, I was already exclusive. So I had already, my thing is we're exclusive, and now you're telling me this. Oh, now I'm not, whatever. But I agree with what you're saying with the whole. Thank you for being honest. Now I know I ain't got to guess. So I was thinking, and now you're going to confirm maybe what I was thinking or whatever, that type of thing. But no, if it's not exclusive, then yeah, I might still, especially if they're a cool person. So yeah.
Right.
What about you, Sabrina?
I probably would be iffy. I'm iffy about even the friendship. I would respect that they told me, but my energy is important to me. I hold it a different way. So we wouldn't be, intimate. And I don't know what we could really do because I'm like a one-on-one person. So if we hanging out, that's the mindset I would be in, is that we just buddy. So I wouldn't see it any other kind of way. I wouldn't give it a second thought to say, hey, well, maybe we could down the road. You would be straight in the friend zone. Maybe.
Can I speak a little experience of my own, if y'all don't mind?
Sure.
So, okay, when me and my fiance got together, I was seeing someone who wasn't exclusive, but we were having relations. And I remember one time after maybe like the second or third date with my fiance, I told him, hey, I'm seeing someone else over here for a moment. I may see him one more time. Right? I actually told him that. And he looked at me and he was like, just like with a baffled look. But then a couple of days went past and I guess it was so relieving after I even expressed that to him, to be so honest with him, that I found myself not even wanting to do that again. So I never did. Because I don't know what it was about speaking my truth to him and him still like accepting me, like, well, we're just friends right now. And, but as I spent more time with him, it was like, what, I don't even need to do that. So I never did. So I thank God for that. So that happens. Stuff like that happens. But he could have been like
risky. That was risky.
Well, because I feel like this. If you're not honest with anyone else in this world, please, my dear, be honest with yourself.
Right. But the good thing is you made a decision. See, if you would have been like, oh, I'm not sure, then that means you're confused.
Right.
We shouldn't deal with
confusion. I never did though. So that was a good thing. So even with being so vulnerable, and that's another key thing in a relationship that you have to be. You have to stay vulnerable with your partner, because granted, loving someone and being in a relationship, we take risks. That is just a risk that we take.
Amen. Yes.
So, you have to still be vulnerable, because you want to always stay open, not just for you, but for the sake of the whole relationship as one. And I think, and know that, even with my fiance, we have a really healthy relationship, and we we've gone through our little spats, but for the majority of the time, we're vulnerable with each other. And I just thank him for still saying, you know what, you're still a pretty cool person. Well,
you are, girl. You are. I want Felicia to chime in on that, though. I want to make sure we get her point of view on that.
Like I said, I agree with the whole, like I said, I'm glad that, somebody would be upfront, tell you what's going on, and give you that decision if you want to try to pursue it, try to be friends or whatever. So, I agree 100%, but I don't know. Like I said, you can have a lot of friends, just depend. I'm just saying, you just don't want to have a lot of, you can't put a lot of, I don't know, you can't put 100% into 20 people.
Right. Right.
Well, here's my point of view on that. If a guy is going to tell me something like that, I think I agree with Sabrina. I appreciate the honesty, but it's almost like he just kind of killed that wet dream. I mean, I know that's probably not the right word, but I mean, I'm just being real. You just dried it up. Because now, where I might have been excited that maybe one day we will go there, you just made me feel like it's not going to be special.
Yeah.
And it has to be special. And so that's why I would be like, dude, you know what? He would just become one of my best buddies. Nobody I can ever be serious with. But Wendell, what do you think about that?
I mean, I appreciate the honesty, but it's a no for me. Yeah, I'm good.
So you're saying if a woman
Yeah.
came and told you, say, hey, buddy, I want to holler at you, but I just want to let you know I was with so and so last night, and I'm probably gonna be with somebody else tomorrow night. You know. So you're saying
Yeah,
it's a no?
it's a no for me. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, but no, thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, you got this is what we're missing. Every time you're intimate with somebody, there are soul ties that are being formed. There are
Yes.
spirits that are
Yes.
being transferred.
Yes.
So every time you're laying with the other person, you don't know what transference is happening, and
Yep.
so it will somehow, in some way, some shape, some form affect our relationship. So for me, I appreciate the honesty. I prefer not to put myself in a situation like that. But you know, it's one thing if you say I was, but I like Tina said, she didn't no longer have the desire. So the fact that she was upfront with him, but also he allowed her to go through that process where she was like, "There's no point of being over here when what I want is over here." But the thing
Amen.
is that you'll get people who want to have their cake and eat it too, so to speak.
Yeah.
So and that's where the lines get crossed because yes, they're spending all their time with you, they're loving on you, and so on and so forth. Go ahead and have a great date, and especially if you're in that phase where they've confided in you. Now you're even um, more skeptical as far as crossing that line. So, hey, let's just get to know each other on this level first. Well, that person already has a sexual attraction or connection with this other individual. So, yes, they're having intimate time with you as far as spending quality time. And then when the quality time is over, they're going to go have sexual time with somebody else. No, I'm
So
good.
what? So
Like,
what's the difference of? So you just don't want to know. So it's okay if you
oh,
don't.
whoa. I ain't saying I didn't want to know. I'm just saying, I think her said it best. Her said it best. She said, "Can you focus on me? Can you focus on me?
Can you focus
If you
on
can
me? I
focus,
know.
can you focus on me? Well, if
Did
you can
you?
focus on me, and if you don't want me, and you find out, then that's fine. Then you'll find out. But if your attention is split 7 different ways, then you're not getting the full scope of an individual, and that's just being honest. Whether you're
True.
dating
And
multiple people. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and I agree. So if they're honest,
Mhm.
they might find like what you know what I said that, but I see now that no, I really don't want to do that, and I'm not gonna do that, and that can
Right.
be
Guys,
a matter of a day or two when they come to that realization. Like,
I want to interject right here because Felicia is going to have to leave us. She has a Zoom meeting that she has to do, but I want her to talk a little bit before she gets out of here. Tell us a little bit about what it is that she does, and before she goes, Felicia, you there?
I'm here. All
I'm
right. So again,
sorry, we're gonna miss you. We're gonna miss you, but yeah, we want to hear a little bit more about what you do before you get out of here. And get ready, PJ, because we're getting ready to hear that song.
Okay.
all right. My name is Felicia Rivers. I am a 2006 Claflin University graduate. I'm going that far back. With a bachelor's in arts and mass communication with a concentration in public relations. I also hold an associate's in accounting and business management, so cum laude. Again, I started a magazine while I was in college. I've been doing it for 16 years now. 3 years ago, I just started doing film. So I am a independent filmmaker. I just got a deal with Maverick Entertainment. So you can find
Yay!
Set of Film
Congratulations.
is on. Thank you. You can go to Tubi if you put in Trapflix Party, or if you put in Felicia Rivers, Trapflix Party will come up, and that's a set of shorts that I did. But we got some new stuff coming out. Treasure Box September, Sugar Babies in November, and I just shot 2 films 2 months ago that'll be out next year. So we are working.
Yes,
Congratulations.
I love it.
Check you out.
Yeah, we definitely stay in touch with the L. Johnson Show, Felicia. I want to bring you back so we could talk about those films. I mean, because we could be interviewing the next. Who's a big producer out there?
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry.
Yeah, Tyler Perry. You got Spike Lee still. You got Spike Lee. You have it's a lot of different people.
Right.
But that's what I'm trying to do. I do horror, drama, comedy. I'm doing one called Black and Blue Tears. It does have some of the police brutality, but I'm not having a white cast. It's going to be like not a black and white thing. It's the black and blue thing, where the police, you know how some black people don't like the police, but the movie, one of the young guys gets killed by the police because he was mentally challenged. They didn't understand, so they ended up killing him. So that's in there. There's a lot going on in the movie, but I wanted to.
Well, you definitely have to come back and tell us about it. We really want to hear about it.
Yes.
So do your thing, girl. I'm proud of you. And again, guys, that's Felicia Rivers, and she's gonna leave us now because she has a Zoom meeting that she has to be a part of. Thank you so much, sweetie. Thank you. Bye, Felicia. I like that. That was just right, Wendell. Well, listen, guys, if you're watching the broadcast, we have an R&B hip hop artist on the show tonight. PJ Dakota is with us. She's gonna share maybe a verse of one of her relationship songs, and I want you guys to sit back and enjoy the show.
All right, y'all. So the name of the song is called "Closer to Me." You probably won't hear the music as much as just hear my vocals. I'll try. Okay.
Yeah, clear your throat, girl. Do your thing.
Okay, so let me pull it up. Hold on, y'all. And the song is on YouTube. There's a music video to it. So if you guys want to look it up, just look up PJ Dakota and you'll see it. Name of the song again is called "Closer to Me." Driving down 75, just got off work. A text from my baby saying, "Baby, such a bird." Hit the earpiece, now he rolling in my ear. Got my windows fogging up, and it's getting hard to stare. My baby at home. For his touch, ain't got time for his traffic jam, for she in a rush. Can't pause for the cause, cause the place is wrong way. Telling me to hurry up, I'm coming, I can't be late. Can't drive any faster, instead he's pushing lanes. I love his sexy talk when he say he wants to play. Now he all up in my ear, and I can hear him say, "Come closer to me, come closer to me, hey, come closer to me, yeah." He light a fire with his loving, baby. So that's the version.
Yay! You were feeling that, right, Wendell?
Yeah, right. I saw him in the corner and I lost it. I said, "Oh my God, he over there fooling."
I'm definitely gonna go check that out. I gotta go check you out, Miss PJ.
Yeah, we gotta check that out. That's nice. Wonderful. Well, guys, listen, we're gonna go right back into the second part of our show because now I want everybody to just kind of, get loose. We're gonna get real. Not that we haven't been real already, but we're gonna talk about sex and side chicks.
Okay.
You gotta take his jacket off.
We're gonna come at you, Wendell, a lot because we women want to know some things. And ladies, I want you guys to feel a part of asking some of these questions. Also, y'all can ask questions too. We have a man here who knows a lot, so we're gonna pick his brain.
Yeah, I will give kudos to you, Wendell. Your answers and your replies have been on point. I just think you're just on point with it. I'm surprised you're single. I don't know why you single, because like the whole thing.
He's picky. Yeah. That's why he's single.
There you go. You picky. My bad.
Absolutely.
He really is picky. He's an awesome guy. He is an awesome guy. I just love him, love him to pieces.
And you should absolutely pick someone who is vibrating on your same frequency.
Girl, you say words like vibrating. Vibrating. I mean, you can't say words like that to somebody drinking wine. I went way there.
Real quick.
It's the vibrating for me, guys. Woo! She thought, oh.
Yeah, you are messing me up. All right, guys. So we're gonna because sex is a very big part of relationships. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I don't think we talk about it enough. I don't think we deal with it enough. I think we shy away from it. Like we're shy. You're freaking home, but then when you really need to talk about it, you want to act like, "Oh, I don't do that." Okay. Well, right? Don't they love to say that? I'm not made for that. I don't do that. No. Right. When you know and I know. So we're gonna talk real on here because this is not just about this talking about the subject. This is really about trying to help relationships because this is one area that has to be talked about. I want everybody to answer this. Do we jump into the bed too soon?
Well, I'm gonna let the ladies answer first.
Of course you are.
I mean, in today's world, with all of the music that's out here, and they want you to put that Mack truck back there and touch the thing in the back of your throat.
It's like popping like it's hot and twerking.
The music is so vulgar, and I think sex is being talked about more, and it's being more accepted, and I don't know. For me, I still am old school. I'm still, let's just wait those 90 days because I feel like.
Why 90 days? That sounds like a job.
Well, that might be true. But I don't even think I waited 90 days. That's the initial goal going into meeting someone, right? You want to make them wait. You want to really let that representative go ahead back in there because they're going to present their representative first before you can see the real person. And I'm a strong believer that after about 90 days, that representative, you're going to know who that person is or have a great idea within that time frame. Now, if you start having sex right off the bat, then that's basically what I believe your relationship is being based upon, sex. So you should make them wait just so you can get to know that person some, so you don't have a relationship based on the physical. Where are we connecting on the spiritual and the mental and, on other levels besides just sex? So you definitely should wait at least a week.
She went from 90 days to
90 days.
How did they get orientation also? Are you going to take me through orientation?
When I said 90 days, it seemed like that was like a year. So maybe a week can be like.
It just sounded like a job. It sounded like a job. Like I'm waiting for orientation next. Like you're gonna take them through orientation too. All right. What do you think, PJ? Do we jump in bed too soon?
Yes, I think today's society does.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Okay. And it's based on exactly what she said. This new generation is so motivated by what's being said on the radio and what they see the stars and rappers and singers do. They think they try to emulate it, and then the subject lyrically is very sexual, and they tend to copy it. So yeah, I think we jump into bed too soon. So,
what about you, Sabrina?
I agree. I think that it doesn't give people time to really know you because now the feelings of those emotions have taken over. I think that you don't know how disciplined they are. You won't find out how disciplined. They won't even know how disciplined you are. So giving some time to see, because some people can't. They be like, you know what, I can't. So that means that if I travel, because I travel, am I worried about you because I ain't there for a week or two? Or, how can you handle, me being gone?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, yeah, we need to take some time to see if, where our soon to be or projected, partner, how they can handle,
themselves.
Oh.
All right, Wendell.
Okay, so the 90 days.
I know, right?
Hold on. I actually agree with Abina. And
Okay.
You
the
doing the
reason
same
I say
party?
that,
Yeah.
the reason I say that is because typically in 90 days you get to see who a person truly is. When you
Yes.
meet an individual, they 9 out of 10 times put their best foot forward,
That's
and
their
they'll show
representative.
you what they think you want to see, not
Yep.
necessarily who they truly are.
You are.
Within 90 days, it is your job to find out if this person who they really say they are. And so you have to ask the probing questions. The problem is that a lot of times is we get complacent and we don't see the warning signs. So
Mhm.
you have to take the time to really get to know the person, find out if they're a family person, find out why they're not a family person. And sometimes it's the person, sometimes it's the family. Do they want kids? Do you want kids? There's a lot of things. And again, I'm saying all this
I have
because
kids.
if they have kids, right? If they have kids, are they taking care of their kids? You
Yeah.
know, you really don't know that individual. Why did their last relationship end? You know what I'm saying? And is it consistent? Is the other person saying the same thing? Saying because they were, oh, she cheated, and kind of find out he was the one cheating on her. You know what I'm saying? So, it's important within 90 days to take that time period before you really get involved emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically with this individual to find out this is somebody you really want to invest in. Because our biggest commodity is time. You can't get time back.
That's right.
Yes.
And
You can't
attention.
get time back. And so you got to think, if you invested this time with this person and it didn't work, now you have to invest more time in yourself to relieve yourself of all the emotional ties that you have with this person. And then if you become intimate, yes, I think our society does, have sex too soon. And yes, a lot of that does have to do with the media and music, but also it's the individual. We live within a microwave society. We want things now. We want things now.
Yeah.
But if we put things in perspective, the things that work best take time. The reason you go to an expensive restaurant and you wait for your food is because they're taking time to cook it. It's not
Right.
fast food,
That's right.
So the it's important for us to take time and enjoy the journey. Get
I
to
like
know,
that.
look around, and look at the individual, because you might be on a journey in 2 months, like, this is a really cool person, but they're not right for me. You know what I'm saying? Or they want different things. You want kids, they don't want kids. Or you want kids, they got a bunch of kids. You know what I'm saying? Are you ready to be a stepmother of seven?
Right.
7 kids, 7 baby mamas, 8 baby
Right.
mamas, 7 kids and 8 baby mamas. So wait, I didn't know about there's another baby mama I don't know about. Oh yeah, she 3 months. Do you want to go through that process?
True.
But if you take the time, and then also you also made a great point. What I'm saying, getting to know that individual. If they can't go a week or two without you, it's gonna be a problem. Because if you travel or you're on tour or whatever the case is, you're gonna have to force that person to go with you. And if they can't go with you, now you're gonna be worried about what they're doing, who they're talking to. Do they have a short attention span? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not available because you're doing sound check or you're in meetings, you're doing presentation, well, who else is keeping their attention? Who's
I was
keeping them
just gonna say
entertained?
that. Yeah. Because now if he's not asking you for sex, then does that mean he's getting it from somewhere else? Someone else is satisfying him? You're wondering about this. It could not be
Correct.
that he is, but you are wondering
Correct.
about it because you jumped in too soon. And I don't know who said this, but I think Wendell, you talked about the soul ties. That's the
Mhm.
reason I don't, because that thing is when it entangles, it's hard
Yes.
to break those soul ties.
Absolutely. Them
You can
demons
be
be
at
up in
2 o'clock
nobody.
in the morning, right?
You fight yourself.
Right. Because you are you're hungry for that, and I think
Right.
it's it's one of those things. I think sex should definitely be one of those things that we think about before we jump into it. We really do have to think about it. We're not 17 anymore, because now, as you know, we have careers, we have lives. Some of us have kids that you're bringing into that relationship that you have to consider. You know,
the longer you can wait, the better it is. And
the better it is.
You know, the goal. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I mean, the goal should always be, at the end of the day, this is what I used to say. I used to say, I don't like having sex. I love to make love. Because when you make love with an individual, and preferably your wife or your husband, there's a level of intimacy that nobody can touch. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a different love language. You know, the physical aspect of it, you know, it can get convoluted, and it can get entangled. It can get, there's a word I'm looking for. It can be devalued.
Right.
That's a good word. Now I'm gonna give y'all a tip, women.
Now,
don't make room.
Come
and
PJ.
All right, so this is what you guys have to remember. In the olden time, men are natural hunters. The longer you make a man work for something, the less likely he is to screw it up and mess it up. That's just simple. The longer you make him work for it, and I'm not saying make him beg, but don't give it up so easy. And I can take this out of context. If somebody gives you $100 and you have to work your 40 hours or your 30 hours to make $100, you're less likely to spend the $100 that you made first, because you had to work for it. The other $100 that somebody gave you, whatever, it's a gift, you know. So when you work for something, the value of what you work for means more. If you work to buy a car or a house, and then you say to the person, do you know how long I had to work for this? Do you know how hard I had to work? Do you know what I had to endure for this? Right. It's the same concept with men. You have to make us work for it, because our society is now side chick and main chick and all this other stuff. You know, it makes it easier. Whereas before, there was a precedent. You know, a man had to lie. Now, married men or whatever in our culture today, they are more attractive, because, you know, people really don't want to be in a committed long relationship. You know, they want the benefits of a relationship without the relationship. So it's important for us, you know, as individuals, to be able to look at the different people that we are looking at and see if they're worth the value of the time. You know, by taking the time to get to know this individual, you might realize, man, they're a great person, you know what I'm saying, but they're not right for my kids. They're a great person, but they can't keep a job. They're a great person, but every time we go out, it seems to be some type of conflict, or they're rude to the waiter or the waitress, you know what I'm saying? Or they chew with their mouth open. I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Or pass gas in public.
Come on now, you know?
Let me just throw this in here too. When you're waiting, you can even see if y'all even got the same sex drive. Because some people might have a high sex drive, and you might not have a sex drive at all. So you might need to make sure you're compatible with someone who
How can you not have a sex drive?
I'm just saying, there's some people out there that still going through their healing and still going through, you know, their childhood trauma who ain't made it there yet. Some people
Ella, it's a face for me, Ella.
And some people turn
Ella. How can you not have one?
Don't have sex drive at all. But maybe you might like having sex once a week, and maybe they might like having sex 7 times a week or 7 times a day.
Guys, can that be? I'm glad Bina brought that up. Can that be a problem in a relationship when you have an imbalance like that? Like you get that one time and it's like, now go to sleep. What?
Absolutely. Because what happens is that person is left unsatisfied.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to understand how to be able to meet them where they are.
And then they're sitting in the bed like this. Let me see who I can call. This man thinking he got me messed up.
That's exactly, yeah. Because they're not satisfied, they're not fulfilled.
Right.
So
I think, and that's why I said you have to take that time, and that's why I do like the 90-day orientation thing, is because you get to talk about.
Now you like it. Now she likes it. 90 days. I can't tolerate 90 days, girl.
Right.
I need to know
not
those
90
things up
days.
front.
What is a good time frame, Miss Ella? What would you say besides the 90 days? What would be a good time frame?
I mean, hey,
Hey, 2 weeks. She said 2 weeks.
I think it's. I don't think you can put a time on it because I think you'll know when it's time. Your
Right.
body will tell
I will
you,
agree.
and you have to make sure your body isn't lustfully telling you,
Right.
but it's spiritually telling
Half
you.
the time it is.
Right.
There's a connection. It's like, you know what? Yeah, this it tonight. Yeah, that's
It's the night.
Is it 90 days yet? Let me call Dina and see if it's all right. I mean, I just think it doesn't. It's not something. It's just not something that you can put a number on. I think it has to, when it's right, the both of you will know it, and you'll just, because honestly, if it's right, it could be the first night.
This is true.
Just
spirit, honey. Whatever your higher self is telling you, live your best life.
I've heard a couple who that has happened where it was the first night and they did end up getting married. So no, there is no time frame, but I guess
it's a mature decision. Yeah.
Correct. Going back to the end goal, I just just have a purpose. Where do you want to go? But with that being said, guys, I keep seeing Alex, I said, 89 day, girl. I don't think I'm gonna make it, girl. I can't go make it, girl.
Whatever
because
your purpose is, my love.
Because you have those people who really want to do it right. When you've been in relationships, you've had your heart broken. You're just like, okay, somebody got to teach me something because I'm obviously not doing something right. And sometimes that could be it. You give it up too easily. It could be that you allow yourself to put your emotions in too soon. You don't even know him yet, and you're already telling him you love him. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a lot of different things.
Well,
so it's equivalent.
Can I piggyback off of that a little bit?
Sure.
Because me personally feel like love is a choice, which it is, but also I just lost it. Go ahead, Wendell. I just lost it.
We'll come back to you.
Because you didn't wait 90 days. That's why you lost it. You didn't wait 90 days. You didn't wait 90 days. I bet you would have lost it. All right. So now I lost it. See, I waited 90 days. I lost it.
It was just rushing down into it.
I'll say something. I was thinking about what you said, Miss Ella, and I said, sometimes it's not just about you saying, well, I expressed too soon. It's sometimes they're not ready, and we have to understand that, hey, they're just not ready. Either they're distracted, they got so much other things going on, or they still hung up on somebody else. So they couldn't possibly give you exactly what you need because they're somewhere else. And then when you express that to them and they're just so casual about it, that they're not where they're lying to themselves about where they are.
Now I want to ask Wendell this because I see this in movies all the time. The man is like intimate with the woman and she's like, tell me you love me. Tell me you love me. She tries to get him to say it. Is that the wrong time to do that? When women do that, Wendell, talk to us. Educate the women on this.
I mean, I think it's something that happens naturally. If you love somebody,
right.
The biggest thing is providing that safe zone for a man to say it. Because a man might feel it, but he's afraid that if he says it too soon, you might not respond. The biggest thing with men, and I'm gonna tell y'all this, men, the reason why a lot of men are dogs, and this is not a excuse, this is just an understanding, is a lot of men have been hurt. And that feeling of vulnerability, that feeling of brokenness, that feeling that life is not going to go on, they would rather do the hurting than being hurt.
Wow.
Men don't like being vulnerable. They don't like being broken. And so, in our culture, it's not okay for a man to cry, not okay for a man to feel down or feel those type of emotions. So parents say, man, suck it up, what I'm saying, man up, blah blah blah, and so allowing that man to go through that process and allowing them to heal. But a lot of men, they pretty much, that's how they cope, and so because they don't want to be broken, they rather being the one causing the brokenness, so to speak. So, but providing a safe environment for a person to say how they really feel, but also a man has to be, if he goes out there, he has to be understanding that you may not feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't feel the same way, he is less likely to tell you that again. So, but if you provide an open door or a segue where he can express it, and nobody likes to be forced to do anything. So when it comes out naturally, what I'm saying, it'll mean more to you.
Wow, what does it mean when a man says it first?
It depends on a woman, because if you're in the same place, then you're like, good, we're on the same track. If you're not, you're like, oh shoot, this nigga falling in love. So, so it depends. I think for a woman, and women are emotional creatures, men are physical. So for a woman, when a woman
Bina
feels that way,
you don't agree, Bina?
Men are so emotional, Miss Ella.
Okay, so men are emotional.
Do not just put that on women.
Okay,
you guys are some very emotional creatures.
It depends on how we're defining emotions, because you're right. So essentially, right now, our society is in reverse. Society as we know it is in reverse. If you look around everything, our society is backwards. And so if you look at back when we were growing up, when a dog...
You're breaking up, my love.
Yeah, we got to hear that thing. What you said when we were growing up, when a dog...
We finna pull that pen and pad out, Miss PJ. Right.
I'm ready. Listen, my phone never rings. And then all of a sudden today, of all days, like my phone is blowing. I got like 6 calls to return.
Are they women watching the show? Maybe, I don't know. They're like, "Ooh, I need to get this brother because he is
okay." I got this.
No, we done lost them all together. Lord,
lost them all.
I would say this though while we waiting on him to come back.
Okay,
I know what we're gonna say when you say, we've been hurt in relationships. I think as women and as just individuals of our own, govern our own self, we need to own all of our responsibility in these relationships that we've allowed people to hurt us in. You feel me? So I always, even in the midst of going through, I always own my own part of that relationship, because granted, no one can do you how you won't allow them to do you. And you choose to stay in these unhealthy relationships because you feel like that person is worth it, only because you don't know your own worth. So if we learn again that the best relationship to get down pat and to have a healthy relationship is with ourselves first, your relationship with everybody else will be more on the up, on a higher vibration.
I like that. All right, Wendell, we want you to finish your thought that you were getting ready to tell us.
All right, sorry about that, guys. Listen, my phone never rings. I got like 6 calls to return. So typically in today's society, our society is reversed. Dina, you make a good point. So our society is reversed where women are the head of the house, not men. Women are making more money than men. Women are more so in a power stance position than men. So it's now becoming where the roles are being reversed. Okay. Even if you see these animal videos, there was a time that cats feared dogs and dogs did not fear cats. But you'll see a lot of videos now, even the dogs are running away from, you got this big old dog running away from this little cat.
Wow.
So, so and now for me, I'm not looking at the dogs and cat. I'm looking at the spiritual realm that's being reversed.
Yes. You just said a whole window.
We're dealing with spirit. So the spiritual realm, which is being reversed. So our society, if you look at our society as a whole, everything that's bad is good. I'm a bad bee. that means that I'm a good
That
B.
means good.
You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? If something is off the chain or off the wall, you know what I'm saying? Something being off something is now good. You know what I'm saying? Um, so on and so forth. So our society is reversed. Yes, men now are typically more emotional than women, but you also have men now are now becoming women.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
whole other topic.
that's a
It
whole
is,
different topic.
but it goes back to the reversal. It goes back to the reversal. And so because the things are being reversed, that's why the roles are being reversed. But a real man will still hold his position. A real man still hold his
I
position.
think I
Um,
think more of
go
a
ahead.
balance, because of course we all have masculine energy and feminine energy. So
Mhm.
I think everyone just needs, and and women need to just find our balance between those two. And that's where that unity will come from. Not being too masculine, not having that whole pre-concept of what you crying for. You ain't supposed to show no emotions. No, that's wrong.
Man up. Yeah,
Right. Like
I
exactly.
agree.
that is so wrong. We need to learn how to be balanced beings having
I
this
agree.
experience.
I agree.
You wanted to add, Sabrina?
Um, I think that it's how people are raised and the like communities, because I deal with that and I look at it, and a lot of times people come to me and they don't have a dad or father in the home or anything like that, and they were raised by their mom, and so then they have a lot of tendencies that are feminine, and then you're looking like, okay, well, where's your uncle, where is this? And so that struggle kind of comes into play. So I understand that the roles are reversed, and seeing the things that contribute to it, and it's kind of hard when you got the TV doing one thing, and showing you how masculine men should be, and then they don't
Yeah,
have
you're
that in the
preparing.
home, and then and they don't have that balance. They don't have someone, like she said, telling them it's okay to cry, or they're too emotional because they're hanging out with their mom, and they bingo partners, and then they gossipy, and so
Yes, yeah. And when someone tries to break in the house, they're running faster than I am. Now, PJ, let me ask you a question. I wanna throw this out there too. Um, what do you what you mentioned earlier that the guy said he was intimidated by you and he had to go. What happens when you have these women? Because we have a tendency to do this. I don't need a man, honey. Let me tell you, I don't need a man. You see all this? I did this. I. How does that resonate with men? I want to ask you, Wendell, but as a woman, PJ, do you think that's a good thing for us to do? Do you think that
No.
ruins the relationship when we come off like that? Look, I don't need you. Okay, let's get that straight. Do you think that's
Um,
good?
it has something to do with the type of relationship you're in. For some, I think it can ruin the relationship, but then it goes back like, why are you in the relationship? Am I in a relationship because I love somebody and I want a wife, I want a husband, and I want the white picket fence and all that good stuff? We both got good jobs and everything's, we the Huxtables. But then when y'all are struggling and, or one got the income and one don't, or I'm just in this relationship because the sex is good, or that determines. So, but then if you got the woman that's, I don't need you, whatever. He might be in it for another whole thing. Okay, well, she might not need me for that, but she helped me pay my phone bill, or it be, what I'm saying? It be those type of things. So I don't know. I think it can hurt the relationship, but for some it might not. You know your role, where your position is. Well, I'm gonna let her handle that, and I'm gonna do me over here, and it works for that particular type of relationship.
But that's gonna eventually get old.
Oh yeah, okay.
Wendell,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Wendell, I want you to speak on that, and then we're gonna move to another topic. We're gonna talk about side chicks so we can end our show. Because we're gonna end it with the side chicks because they are there. All right.
So
So talk to me, Wendell.
nobody likes to be devalued.
Right.
Nobody likes to be devalued. There's nothing wrong with having pride and having accomplishment being able to say, hey, I did this, I've established my company, I earn 6 figures a year, or I earn $10,000 a month or $10,000 a week. There's nothing wrong with that. But to and there's other word there's just don't let it be like a I don't want to say a bag of honor or a trophy.
Badge.
It's something. It's something to be proud of, but don't use it as a pride thing. Because again, if like PJ said, if it's to that point, well, what do you need a man for? Oh, I did this, I did that, I'm doing this. Great.
Right.
Okay, so you don't need me. Do everything else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's all in the approach. Hey, I've accomplished this. I've accomplished that, and I want somebody to share, share this with, I ain't got no problem. If I meet a girl and she got her own business, she making 6 figures, making whatever, she making $1 million, I ain't got no problem with that. Hey, babe, show me. Let's become partners. Teach me.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'll run the business. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, and I'll work from the bottom up. You know what I'm saying? And when we're in public, I'll be your employee, but don't in a relationship treat me like you're your employee. You know what I'm saying? If I don't mind working my way up from the bottom to understand the business, but when it's business time, yes, Miss Parker, yes, Miss Jones, yes, whoever, and then minute we over, they'll be like, hey, you need to ma'am, I need to what? Because we not on the job right now. So do you need me to do something?
With that.
What do you need me to do? Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna set my position. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but even how you're saying that, man, it's so many of them. I don't know if they don't know to say that or don't know how to say it. If they could, I think women that's like that could be more receptive and respective of it, because they just don't say it. So then they play the role. They be that.
So the issue that you have in those situations is then you'll find a man who has to come across as so arrogant and so cocky to have them humble themselves. You know what I'm saying? And typically that man has to have more money than them, has to have a bigger status than them, because they're not able to. Now somebody like me becomes a common man because I don't make as much as them. So somebody has to be in that position, and typically if he's in that position, he has to come with such a persona or such a value that they have to bow themselves down to him because he has more money, because he has more clout, he has more position. But see, the thing is that doesn't make a man, because you can have a man like that who has more money, who has more integrity, but he has more money, has more clout, but he doesn't have integrity. Yeah, he has millions, but he has that millions because he stole it from people.
Yes,
he robbed.
That's not impressive to me. I'm not impressed by that.
Right.
Yeah.
So are you willing
I don't
to
really
take
care
a man?
about money like that.
Yeah.
I don't really care about money like that.
It depends on that individual to say, I'd rather have a man who works a profession where he's making $40,000-$50,000 a year than a man who has millions, you know what I'm saying, but he doesn't value me.
Come on now.
You know?
Amen.
But typically women will be more attracted to the man who has more money, who has more clout, because they feel like it's a level up versus a level down. Just because, to me personally, now success is defined by the individual. Because a person can make $50,000 a year or $40,000 a year, have good credit, have all their bills paid, and be able to take care of their home. And a person can have millions of dollars a year and don't have good credit, but don't take care of their home. They don't, you know what I'm saying? As much money they're making is as much money they spend. One bad check or one bad gig that falls through, now they're in a situation. So
that's
it depends on the individual.
That is so true. Well, guys, you know what? We're gonna end with the topic that nobody likes to talk about. Okay? And might step on some toes, but some of you that are watching this broadcast are suffering from this right now. Some of you know it, and some of you don't. Because some of you could have you could be with a man that's with another woman right now while you're watching the Ella Johnson show. That's just being real, right?
Yes.
So it happens. So whether I talk about side chicks or not, it's not going to stop it from happening. A side chick is born every day. There's some people that they just want to be a side chick. That is all they want to offer. They don't care about marrying him. They don't care about being his woman. They just care about, you know what? Let me just disrupt someone else's life. I don't love him. I'm just using him to get what I need. Now,
Right.
Bina, you're just in time, girl, because we're getting ready to talk about side chicks and side dudes too. It's not just side chicks, but we got some side dudes.
Yeah.
You know, Wendell, I don't know, you could be one. You know?
Are we putting my business out there?
But I mean, I could be a side chick. You never know, because you don't know what side chicks look like. You
Right.
can't say she's loose, so she must be a side chick. Because one thing I know personally is that a lot of men don't cheat for sex. We tend to think that. But let me just, let me educate some of you. A lot of your men are cheating because you don't support them. You put them down. You don't want to work as a team anymore. You're already setting everything up like it's just you and that you're going to exit one day. He doesn't feel a part of the marriage. So he's going out there to talk to that side chick because she does believe in him. She does support him. And she does genuinely love him. And she's not always asking for things. So, side chicks. Why do we hate them?
I don't hate them. They don't owe me nothing. I feel like who I'm engaging my relationship with, that's who owes me loyalty. So I'm not even mad at them because everybody's looking for an opportunity and a way to come up. And my problem is not with that side chick. My problem is with this man that I'm with. Why? Where's your loyalty? Of course, people are gonna do what you allow them to do. She don't owe me a thing, but what I just had your whole baby. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even gonna confront her. This is not even between me and her. This is between me and you. That's just how I feel about it.
That's very mature. That's a very mature way of looking at it. Do you see it the same way, Sabrina?
Yeah, I agree. But I see a lot of women, and I've actually known one that she would rather fight the side chick, but she's gonna stay in her marriage though. And
I don't get
be
that.
upset.
That's
Be upset. But and I was baffled by that.
Yes.
Because,
you give this person so quickly, yet you're just mad. No, that's so backwards. I totally agree with that.
Right. And so they're not going to throw away their relationship because they feel like, oh, well, I didn't put in 20 years and, are you doing hard time? So you're comfortable, but then you don't like what he's doing, but you're comfortable, but you don't want to leave, but he's going to do it anyway. So, you
might as well
both having a headache, I don't get it.
So true.
Huh?
I was saying, I think that's so true. Like, you sit here and accept this person for who he is. He have shown you time and time again on who he is, honey. Why are you mad at me? This is who he is. This is who you choose to be with. And I don't get the people that choose to still stay in unhealthy relationships. Why cheat? Go have your best life. Go live that. You don't have to cheat, my love.
I can say, okay, so I had a guy approach me, and he had a wife, and he wanted to talk to me, and but he wasn't going to give up his relationship because he's like, we got a lot of stuff together, and I'm not going to divide it. I'm not going to, split up our bank accounts and, all this other stuff. And I said, that's very interesting. But did you think about me? So I'm not a sharer. And I'm a single mom. I can't, deal with that. That's just not how I want my son to understand what a relationship is, first of all. And then secondly, I said, do you think that I'm going to allow you to be kissing on me and trying to love on me or whatever, and then you go back to her and you lay in the bed with her, and then I can't call you because you got your phone off or whatever, and then you got to sneak around, I'll call you later. That's not how a relationship works.
But what I've seen lately is there's so many more relationships and marriages that are in open relationships, and it is okay to indulge over here, and we just a big happy family. I reckon that's just how they live their life. And to each his own. But even that one song I just was listening to, I got him on the week, he's mine on the weekend. You got him Monday through Friday. But I seen a girl say, "Oh, honey," she was working out and she was talking about, "Let me tell you these statistics. There's a shortage in men, so that's our man." So there's a lot of more acceptance of, listen, we don't got too much to choose. Men got more options than a little bit, but women options are very few because we outnumber men. So it's more women that are more open to allowing their significant other to indulge in other places. So I mean, you never know nowadays. This people out here living all kind of lives.
What did you want to? That sounds like a song for you, PJ. This is our man.
It's already
our man. Okay, that's what time. Look, Wendell said it best. Things have reversed, honey. This is the time we're living in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's my thought on this side chick thing. I did a show about side chicks, and I said it was you, me, and her, the other woman's truth. And the reason I wanted to interview a side chick, I actually had one on the show, and she shared with me how she got into a relationship with that man. And I did that because I wanted wise. Listen, this is coming from the side piece. She's telling you how she got your man. This is how they get them. And it was because she wasn't listening anymore. She was very boring with sex. Didn't want to try anything. Didn't want to spruce the thing of like when they were dating. When they were dating, you were very spontaneous. And now that we're married, you just let me hit it and then you roll over. There's nothing. Passion. And yeah, there's no passion. And those are the things that kind of, so she talked about it. And I'm the product of the other woman. And that's why I don't bash them, because my mother, and I'm putting my business out here, but I've talked about it on the show before. My mother was in a relationship with a married man and she got pregnant with me. Now, there are a lot of women in a situation just like me, because the man was not allowed to have a relationship with me because of how my mother got pregnant with him. So the reason I talk to side pieces is because we can't bash them, because now there's a child in the picture. So I had to go my entire life without my father because of the status of my mother in that situation. And so the reason I talk about this subject is because if you are if you're married to your husband and he's cheated on you and there's a child involved, I want you to think about me. Think about me and women like me who had nothing to do with that. And yet you took this child away from her dad for 20, 40, 30, 50 years because of your insecurities. And I don't think that's right, because it wasn't the child's fault. So Wendell, I'm coming to you. What do you think about side pieces? Because everybody has their, I don't bash them because they're women. And they're, like you said, Bina, everybody's looking for love. Everybody wants something. And maybe your husband does love her. We will talk about that one in a minute, because some of you women think that the side piece, she's a home wrecker. I personally believe that the side piece sometimes is why you still got your husband. But we're going to hear from Wendell, the man on the panel.
Well, I mean, I think Sabrina was right when she said, you got to look at the individual, you got to look at the man. I think at the end of the day, it's the man's responsibility to honor his vows, his agreements, his verbal agreement, his signature, his written agreement, his honor to his family. If he has a side chick, then he is not focusing all his attention on his family and providing and putting them in the best position. Now, side chick is a part of our culture. Me personally, I'm not necessarily for it. I don't even talk to people who are going through divorce. If somebody says, "Oh, I'm getting a divorce," okay, take care of your business. When you get done taking care of your business, come holler at me. But until then, I'm good. So, but I understand, because at the end of the day, there's so much that's tied to that, but it still goes back to soul ties. It still goes back to spirits.
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, and you guys have to realize, we talk about self-esteem, we talk about jealousy, spirit. So, because all things are spirits, and no matter how you look at it, it's just spirits. So when somebody gets jealous or angry, They're not just angry, they're dealing with the spirit of anger. You know what I'm saying? Which is why if you look, when sometimes we're angry and we're on the job, whatever the case, you hear that voice, oh, you should knock them out. You know what I'm saying? Girl, catch him in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? That's the spirit that's talking to you. So you have to be understand that. So when you put yourself in that situation, you're putting your family in that situation. Because yeah, okay, let's look at a lot of men have side chicks. How many people have died because they were a side chick?
That's right.
Now you're dealing with people's lives. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Because the
right.
wife found out and or the husband found out, you know what I'm saying? And now they're knocking at your door and the husband's over there, or the wife's over there and they got a gun.
Mm.
So mom shoots dad, dad's dead, mom shoots the side chick is dead, everybody's grieving, mom going to jail. Now who's the real victim? The kids.
Kids.
Wow.
They
It's
lost
so
both
sad
their
that people
parents.
allow themselves to do that.
They lost both their parents. You see what I'm saying? And so it's if they're if you're not happy in your relationship, that's fine. That's what
Please.
counseling's for. That's what counseling's for. If you want to work it out, that's what counseling's for. If you don't want to work it out, that's what divorce is for. I mean, you have options. A side chick doesn't have to be an option. Now, a side chick, a lot of reason women are side chicks because they have the benefits from reaping financially, from having multiple partners because there's no commitment. Which not always, but in a lot of circumstances, a lot of women who are side chicks didn't even grow up with their father, so they don't even know what love is because nobody showed them.
That's right. And
You
she'll
know,
take
and
it
I
wherever it comes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
and again, that's not all of them. That's not all of them, but a lot of them. And a lot of women and men grew up without their fathers. So nobody's teaching them how to love the right way. But at the end of the
Right.
day, if you seek, you shall find. You got to look for yourself, you know? So
And
at the end of
within
the day,
yourself.
and within yourself, you have to see the value of yourself. Are you like you were saying, like I can't even call you if there's a problem. Like for me personally, that's not a comfort. Like you scared to call the person because you don't know if they're with their significant other. That means you're not the significant other. Do you understand that? You're just the other. You're insignificant.
You know what?
You
I
are the in.
compare I compare the side piece to like when you go and place your order when you're in a restaurant, right? And they bring you the menu. You have the main dish, and then you have the side orders. Think about it. The side order is an option. It's not the thing that fulfills you. The entree does.
Right.
The side order is what you pick up if you want to, and you might need a little something extra, right? So I think that we have to think about it like that. You know, I'm not putting down any side pieces because you're welcome on the Ella Johnson show. If you are a side chick or a side dude and you want to come on the Ella Johnson show and tell your story, I welcome it because there's no judgment zone here at the Ella Johnson show.
Right.
You know, because we're all people, all women are queens to me, whether we act like it or not. And I think that sometimes, like what you said, Wendell, they don't know. Maybe they just don't know any better. Maybe they think this is just what it's going to be for me. You know, so let me take what I can. Isn't that what Betty Wright said? Betty Wright said that. Come on now, I know I'm not the only one that knows about Betty Wright. Am I the only one that knows about Betty Wright?
I know who Betty Wright is. I'm just trying to remember the song you were talking about.
Having a piece of man is better than having no man at all. Someone will just take what I got.
Yeah.
My sister would tell me that. My sister would tell me that, and I said, "Well, I'd rather be by myself."
Yeah, that's right. Because you're beautiful, and you do deserve to have him all to yourself. And I think that
do not lower those standards.
Yeah, don't lower your standards because you know what? It's not worth it. At the end of the day.
I was gonna say something about side pieces, and sometimes they don't even know. They get
that they are side pieces, right?
Yeah, right.
That's why you need to give them 90 days. Because I'm telling you, you're going to find out in them 90 days.
Girl, that's a book, Vina. That's a book, baby girl. That is a book.
Miss Ella, we need to talk after the show, too, because I'm so excited about your children's book coming out. Happy belated birthday again to
Thank you, sweetie.
But I'm just like, yes, I need to find out your plug because I definitely have a book in the making that's been in the making. And I just need to stop procrastinating on it. I have such a full, busy life, but
Make
You
time.
definitely can mentor me in that
A little bit
direction.
at a time, sweetie. Listen, it doesn't, you're not going to be able to do it all at once. What you do is you start letting it marinate in your spirit, in your heart,
Yeah.
and then you'll start dreaming about it. And you'll wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and God will give you an idea. Write it down. It's a gradual thing, but you have to be intentional about it. And we'll
Yes.
talk about that. We'll talk about
Yes.
all that.
Yes.
But you know what, guys? I told you all these shows are never just an hour. How are we going to talk about love and relationships in an hour? Because we talked about dating, we talked about self-esteem, we talked about sex, and we talked about side chicks. And one other thing I want to talk about too is how Christian men versus men who are not Christians, how we view relationships. Because I think that Christian men are afraid to say, I'm a Christian man and I want sex too. Like, I'm a Christian man, but I do have those urges at times. What's wrong with them feeling safe to be honest about that? Why isn't this talked about at church? Why don't we tell them, okay, this is what you need to do when you get those urges, and just be real? Like, I would love to sit in on those meetings. I mean, because I want to know, what would you tell them to do? But you have to help people work through this stuff, or they're gonna just do whatever they feel, no direction.
Right.
And we have to be intentional on keeping the families together by any means necessary. So what would you say to somebody, PJ? What would you say to a man, and he's a Christian, and you were preaching to a bunch of men, and you got to tell them, what would you listen? You know what? We might need to let Wendell answer this one. I know you heard all of that, right?
No, I got another call that came in, kicked me off. Sorry.
Well, you know what? You're getting too much play tonight, because my phone ain't ringing.
Wait. Okay, let me explain. My birthday is tomorrow. So thank you. So I'm getting a lot of calls. Yeah, so I'm getting a lot of calls in reference to that.
A lot of June birthdays. You're Gemini too.
How many years will you be, Wendell?
I will be. Lord Jesus, help me! I'll be approaching 40. This is my 40th birthday.
Wow, this is a milestone. Congratulations.
Yeah. So
you look great, my friend.
Absolutely.
You
well, thank you. I'm out here. I'm trying to live my best life, but
you're not trying, Wendell. Don't say you're trying, because you are fully doing that.
Yeah,
Wendell,
I'm fortunate.
I'm not going to let you get away with this question though. We're talking about Christian men. Christian men want sex too. What would you? How would you counsel them if you're the pastor? He says, yes, they do. So you're vouching for that?
I'm stating facts.
Stating facts. If they're a man, whether they're Christian or not, they're still a man, right?
Correct.
So how do you, if you're the preacher on Sunday and the subject today is the Ella Johnson shows talk about sex at so-and-so Baptist church, and you're talking to a congregation of men, how would you encourage them in this era with all of this women twerking online and showing just everything online? I mean, there's a lot of temptation. Let's be real. It's out there. How do you encourage them? What would you say to them about how they need to navigate through these times?
I mean, they need to focus on them. At the end of the day, our society is what our society has always been. Women twerking, that's nothing new. It's just called something different. It used to be called booty shaking. That's what it used to be called. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, the name has changed. It's a little bit more vulgar. And depending on how it's done, now, if you look at how Africans twerk in Africa, and the way they do it, it's an art form. You know what I'm saying? True. In America, it's sexualized. You know what I'm saying? So it's just based on how it is presented. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, I can only tell them what the Bible says. That's simple. You know what I'm saying? The Bible said that he that finds a wife finds a good thing. And then it says you should not give into your flesh. So it's up to me as a preacher or whoever to relay the message. You don't shoot the messenger, don't kill the messenger. Now, what I do is I tell people, so how do you combat that? Because I'm a realist. You find ways to be productive. And I'm going to be honest, the reason I became an actor and a model and a host and this and that and a photographer and an MC was because I didn't want to be caught slipping. So I said, you know what, let me find something to do. And so one thing led to another, one career led to another. and they all blew up. I never
Right.
knew that. Who would have known? I did one fashion show, and it turned into a whole career. I've met celebrities in all industries, acting, music, yada yada yada, and all this was because I didn't want to get caught slipping. So what I'm saying, I could just give them the same advice that I've taken myself. Because at the end of the day, I'm 40 now. I'm still single, but at the same time, because people were not ready for what I had to offer, what I brought to the table, has caused me to be in this position. But I also had to learn that I had to heal. And so now that I've gone through that healing process, I am ready. So, but I can also say that I'm 40. I have no kids. I got pretty good credit. I'm working on getting my 700. Come on now, we're gonna get on my 7. So I've been working on me. I just had a conversation with one of my friends today, and I was telling him, I waited all this time to buy my wife a house. You know what I'm saying?
Aw.
And so I don't have a home. But with my mentors, what they taught me is, saying change your mindset. I could have still owned the home and still bought her a house. Because now when I had my own house, what I could have did is turn that into a rental property. And then now we have 2 homes. And we have one home that's producing income in equity. And I purchased her a home. So I wouldn't have lost if I would have did that. But you got to be under the right leadership for them to help change your mindset and expand your mindset. So
Oh,
work
I
on
like
you,
it.
build yourself up.
I like
What's
it.
that business idea that you have? Or what's that
Right.
friend who has a business idea that they want to work on? I had a conversation with somebody today who's going to be in tomorrow for an investment opportunity where I said, hey, let me know about it. What I'm saying? Fill me in because I want to be in it. It sounds like it's groundbreaking. You know what I'm saying? And so you can look for those opportunities. You can be what a man's supposed to be, which is the head of the house.
I love it. I love it.
I like that.
I do. I like that. That's very good. I want to go in a totally different area because right now, with relationships, it's getting a little testy. You got ministers that are gay. We have just accepted everything in society. Now, I know that this is a touchy subject for a lot of people because a lot of people, we have gay, lesbians in our family. Um, and I don't think that's going to ever change. Just like you have men that cheat, women that cheat, that's not going to ever change.
Yeah.
But what happens when that urge, because it could be a fantasy, it could be that that's just what you've always wanted, or it could be like, I saw this, I really want to try it. And it may not be really who you are, you're curious. But what happens when that affects the marriage now? Because these things are affecting the marriage.
Well, what affects the marriage?
When the woman comes home and says, I don't want you anymore, I want Sabrina. That's what I'm talking about.
No, we ain't doing that. Hey, you and Sabrina get stepping. I mean, it goes back to dealing. Y'all gonna think I'm crazy dealing with spirits.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the word said go forth and multiply. Sex is it's supposed to be based on procreation. You know what I'm saying? And as pleasurable it can be, we've taken and we've perverted it and done this. What I can do is share a story. And so I had I don't even know if they're an acquaintance or a friend, but the story that I heard is there was a wife who took her husband. She wanted to spice things up, and she took her husband to a strip club. And so he went to the strip club, and he was a square, and he enjoyed the strip club. And then it opened up a door that she could not close. So now he couldn't stop going to the strip club. You know what I'm saying? And then that led to him wanting to invite other women into the marriage. And so, and because she loved them, she invited other women into the marriage. And at first, it was an agreement that they had, and that agreement turned into where it was both of them engaging with somebody else, till it was just him engaging with somebody else. Because but I look at the situation, I said she opened that door.
Yeah.
Because he was fine. But she wanted more exciting. So be careful what you wish for, so to speak. At the end of the day, when you put yourself in those situations, you're allowing things to come into your life and into your marriage that are going to have long-term ramifications and effects that you cannot foresee. So it to me personally, if she wanted to spice something up, she could have, dressed up as a school teacher or a librarian or something. You know what I'm saying? She could have, I don't know, played, I don't know, Mortal Kombat. I don't know, but she could have did something that was still in the home between them, and then step outside of the marriage. And not that going to a strip club is taking a step outside of the marriage, but you're putting yourself in an environment where you're like more likely to have different type of issues or spirits or things to occur.
I know a family, well, some friends, and they were exactly what you just said, and they came to an agreement within the marriage, and the marriage was fine, but they made the agreement that they all could date other people, and and they were switching off on the people who they dated. It was the most
Swingers.
crazy. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, it was the
Swingers, yeah.
craziest thing, and they were happy. They were
People out
comfortable
here
with
living
their
their
setup, and
lives.
it was the craziest thing I'd ever heard or seen. And you couldn't tell me they weren't happy as ever when I met them. I was like, wow.
Yeah, no, it's a bunch of swingers. It's a bunch of a lot of stuff out here. And at the end of the day, we all just have to answer for ourselves. So what you choose, just
Amen.
make sure you're being safe, honey. Whatever you're doing, be safe and strap it up.
So on that note, I want each of you to have one last moment to talk about what you want people to get out of this show, and what you're looking forward to, whether you're in a relationship now, you're engaged like Bina, or you just kind of want to stay single for a while. What is it that you want? And then I want you to encourage our viewers. Start with you, PJ.
Oh Lord. I'm not in a relationship. I haven't been in a relationship in a long time by choice. Just because I'm so busy. But I have learned a lot from this conversation. When you don't have the time, or you try to be in a relationship and you don't make the time, how it can affect the relationship. So I'm conscious of that. So I know that if I go into one, I have to make the time with something that's not going to work, and I really don't have that time to keep going in relationships and out of relationships, because it takes too much out of you. Like you said, it's that whole spirit and what you bring in, and when they leave, they don't all leave with you, and now you stuck with these emotions for a long time, and it takes you a long time to get over it. So, what? First off, people that's watching 90 Days is important. Learn that, and I don't know. I was like what you said before about what we thought what was important within a relationship. We've been able everybody's been able to everything they said in the beginning about what they thought was important. We talked about honesty, we talked about communication, we talked about trust, and all of that factors in a successful relationship, no matter where you at within it. So I just be all those things and be honest with yourself. Yeah.
All right, Sabrina, what you heard the question, because I can't repeat it.
I am single. I am open to a relationship. I am vetting. I don't give my energy to everybody and anybody. So, and I know, kind of soon, if I know it's gonna, if we can be cool or not. I think the takeaway from our conversation is, give people that choice, whether you are married, whether you are gay, whatever it is, be open and honest. So, and keep your integrity. So you can keep your integrity and give, and so people won't feel like you're taking their options away from them. So I think that's important. Honesty is really important, and integrity.
All right, Miss Bina.
I'm engaged. We've been together. September will be 5 years. But the best thing that I can say is do your work on yourself first. That is so important to establish a very healthy relationship with self and getting to know yourself so that you will even know what you're looking for in a mate, because I am a strong believer at where you're vibrating at. That's the type of people you're going to attract in your life. So if you don't like your mate, that's because you don't like yourself. So make sure you're vibrating and doing your work on yourself so you can be vibrating in a higher vibration and on the right frequency so that the universe will bring who you need in your life and who is perfectly divine, perfectly designed for you.
Very good. Very good. Now, Wendell, you have successfully handled the Ella Johnson show tonight and represented the men. And here I thought I needed another man here. Well, you just handled it for the whole men generation out there. You did excellent, is what I'm trying to say. So I want your take on that. What should people take home from this show tonight? And what should we think about moving forward when it comes to relationships?
A good friend of mine taught me it's important for us to love ourselves. When you love yourself, there are certain things that you will not tolerate. There's certain things that you will not stand for. There's certain things that you'll have to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I deserve better. I want better. I want more. I try to live my life by 3 words, which is live, life, grow, which live your life, or live, learn, grow, which is live your life, learn from your life, grow. Somebody's at the door, guys. I can't even see you. But let me get the door while I do this. So you have to live your life, you have to grow, and you have to learn from your mistakes. If you're able to take those principles and you're able to apply them, you're able to move past them, you're able to not allow your circumstances to dictate. When it comes to life, and it comes to energy, and it comes to things that happen to you in life, you can't always control what happens, but you can always grow from them. You can always mature from them. All right. So
all right,
that's essentially it.
Well, guys, listen, I cannot thank you enough. And those that had to leave early, Felicia, I just want to say thank you all so much. We have had a very good conversation tonight, right? Yes. I think we have to do that now. Listen, I'm thinking about doing the relationship show again tomorrow. So if you guys can come back tomorrow, you're more than welcome. And we'll let you sing again, PJ, if you guys want to come back tomorrow. But if not, then I'll just have to do another type of show tomorrow if you guys aren't able to make it. But anyway, for those of you that are watching, thank you so much for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show. This has been incredible. This is a no judgment zone here. But what we wanted to do tonight was to bring out the rawness of what we don't like to talk about. You know, we like to do water cooler conversations. Those conversations that we have that at the water cooler, you know, that you might not have in the boardroom. Well, that's what the Ella Johnson Show is real talk TV here, because we want people to learn and grow and heal all at the same time. But if all minds are satisfied, we're going to get out of here so you guys can get home, get back to your families. And I want to thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm getting ready. Yes. I'm going to post this video now too. I'm going to post the video now to my page. So once I do that, you guys can share it, you know, so that people will be able to watch the show.
For this opportunity. I love you so much.
I love you too. I love all of you guys. All of my babies. You know, once you're a guest on the Ella Johnson Show, you're always welcome here. So all you have to do is hit me up and say, hey, Ella, let's do a show about, and I'm game. I'm just that chick. I'm that kind of girl. What? We were talking about, okay, well, let's do it. Yeah, it ain't nothing to do it, but ain't nothing to it but to do it, right? So you guys are always welcome to be a guest on my show. But thank you all so much for tuning in. And we'll see you again tomorrow night right here on the Ella Johnson Show, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you there. Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show.